Right.
It is said that music in films is that extra layer that gives story a meaning.
Wonderful. She had to put that beautiful intro
Yes,
for this one.
yes.
Because we have some sort of a magician in the house.
Yes, we do.
I've met people that one person is doing 10 people's job. This one man
Only
at times,
one, only him.
look, this one man has done, at times, he has done a job that I've seen 100 people do. And I'm not missing with 100. For me, he's a musical score composer. And for me, this is big because when I was going through my Spotify Wrapped, my top artist is Hans Zimmerman.
Okay.
So musical scores are something that I'm big on musical scores.
Yeah.
I love, when I look at the classics and all of that, so there are things that I listen to that get me into the mood. I feel like a lot rises and falls. A score, if you put a comedy score, a horror score. Horror is the score that makes it horror.
Yeah, it's the
jump
score that makes
scares
it
and all of that. If you carry
horror,
comedy now and put in action, and you're putting Fast and Furious and you put the comedy score, it will change the whole concept.
Yeah.
So these people are very important. Tolu Obanro
Obanro.
is in the house this morning.
so much.
And a magician, I must say. Tolu, let's
Thank
get
you so
straight to it.
much.
You don't have so much time, so let's hit it fast, man. What is the process for you putting together, to composing a musical score for a movie?
Okay, so just like music, there are genres to movies. You have to look at it. Is it an action movie? Is it a drama? Is it a thriller? Whatever it is, that's the first thing we normally should, I'll think about. So I'm looking at this movie. I start with the script. When I get the script, I kind of look at it like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Then from there, I start building ideas in my mind. I start thinking, what am I going to do to this? What am I going to do with this? Okay, this scene, I can call the director. This scene is actually people fighting. Is this supposed to be action? These are brothers. It should be rather emotional. I don't want to kill my guy, but this is my guy. My guy is messing up, so I want to kill my guy. So, it has to be emotional. So those kind of roller coasters of emotion, thrills need to put into consideration before actually making a particular movie for a particular sound. Gone are the days where you just go on YouTube or somewhere, pick somebody else's sound and then put on that your this
People
thing.
used to do it too.
Yeah, I know they still do. So, yes.
Now, let's look at Jagun because for 2023, Jagun was one of the best Nollywood movies. Now let's talk about the music composition for Jagun, the soundtracks, the fall of the trees, the knife, the cutlass clanging, all of those sounds. You could tell there was a lot of there was a lot of intentionality. You could feel the detailing and the efforts that was put in the sound and the work that went into it. So talk to us about everything that went into it. Was it done during post-production?
Were you on
or
set?
Were you on set? Talk to us about it.
Okay, so for Jagun was the first time I really insisted on being on set. I wanted to start imagining things. I wanted to start thinking it through. And then thanks to Niyi Akimolayan, he just like, first he said, but this is post-production. I said, but we need to be on set. They're like, okay, how many weeks? And I'm like, okay, 2, 3. And he said, good. Made provisions, and then I was there. So the first thing that came to my mind is, we have this brass-looking shield. Those are definitely made from baskets. So we can't make this thing sound like iron because it's rather looking like brass.
They're raffias.
Yes, thank you. So from there, we started talking. I did the music, I did the post-production supervision, then John Bars, my friend, did the sound design, started talking to him. This has to be this sound, that has to be this sound. And we started building the ideas from there. So there were some generic sounds we had to pull from there. We are this generation, and that movie was set to years and so I started to talk to people that are older than us. I remember speaking to Baba Ojopagogo, if you know him. He's a Yoruba legend.
Oh, okay.
Baba Ojopagogo is the old music legend for Yoruba films. Okay, what can you give us? I'm not going to do Yoruba sound, but I want a sound that when it's heard even across borders, you're like, this guy really knows what he's doing.
Knows what he's doing.
But I have to make it Nigerian because it's ours.
Own,
so I spoke to him, he gave me some sounds, he gave me some songs. From there, I started thinking of sounds that they must sound traditionally international, if there's any word like that. You will hear it and say, this is definitely Nigerian. And at the same time, you're like, this can cross the borders anywhere. So that gave birth to all the sounds we did. if you look at it well, there was a sound for the bad guy Ogundiji. Anytime you see him, you hear that sound, and then a drum will follow.
Yeah.
So what we thought of is, okay, this guy is like a king, bad king and kingmaker for the real king. So he needs to sound like a king. In the Yoruba land, if you are going to hail a king, he has to be like a talking drum.
A talking drum. In fact, you know, this thing, exactly, you pick up on this thing. This thing you're talking about, I know some movies, and even Japanese anime, where the sound preempts, like 3 or 4 seconds before even the appearance of that particular person. You know, once you just hear that, this person is coming. One that comes to mind, I don't know if you remember, I think it was Infinity War Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
You know the Wakanda soundtrack. And you just know, the next you saw, you just see the Panther. It takes you a lot. And I like that you're mentioning this, and this happened in Jagun. And so, this leads me to my next question. The appreciation. Do filmmakers understand how
the importance
it is for a score? Because we've seen some movies that are in some ways critically acclaimed, and nobody's talking about the score. And for me, yes, you see good actors, you see a good set, but then score is one way. And you're wondering, it doesn't carry the emotion. I'm like, if this thing had a score to carry to it, it would do a lot for this film. So generally, you've been doing all this with all the big ones. We'll talk about The Tribe Called Judah. But do you think filmmakers appreciate, or they've come to the understanding of how important a musical score composition is?
I think one of my major dream is to make sure they do. And I've really been working on that. You know, I tell my team now that we cannot be underground. We can't stay silent and expect people to understand that they need this. We can't do things the regular way and expect people to think that they need a big budget for this. So, I mean, a percentage of them do, and no doubt you can see the percentage definitely going up there.
Yeah, getting that global recognition.
You understand? And it's definitely going to prick others to like, oh, this is, I really need to get on my sound.
I need to get on it,
and that, but, I mean, before now, I don't think anybody gives actual consideration to let's do this or not, let's do this to sound.
Okay, so do you think that budget also plays a critical role in getting a film composer? That's one question. Secondly, still hinging on the global recognition, we have streaming platforms now that are, you know, that has given Nollywood that, you know, wings to fly. Do you also think that if it wasn't part of the criteria, it would be, you know, it would be considered?
Yeah, I think that was...
Jesus would consider it.
Yes, I think that was the start. That was really the start. I mean, for Netflix to give you like a particular standard that this is what we can put on our platform, and then Amazon Prime Videos also say this is what we can put on our platform. Your dialogue needs to be this. I mean, till now, some film composers still just give the editors like editorial. No editor will be able to tell you this is supposed to be the LUFS for this is supposed to be this, like the normal standard of broadcasting on either YouTube or platform or cinema. Nobody will tell you. They only tell you they can do 5.1 because their software holds a part of it that you can use in listening to 5.1, not in making 5.1.
That's why you're talking about the surround.
Yes, you can't make that surround sound using your editor. It needs to go. So Netflix, Amazon, and these good platforms are really helped to help, you know, elevate the level of generally the level of film we do in Nigeria. These days now, people give consideration to like having a good standard so that they can actually pitch it to these platforms.
Okay, wonderful. Now let's talk about A Tribe Called Judah. With as much acclaim, critical acclaim that the movie had, when I watched it, I was talking to a friend and I sent a voice note and I said, I wish you all could hear it, but I said the musical score was one of the best I've seen. It was very good. It lacked in some parts. I mean, and the reason why I would say so is that it was one magician doing the job of 100 people. But you see, a lot of people don't know that they felt some things that they felt in that movie because of the score. You felt some points where, oh, hey, this person was getting into somewhere. Just a simple scene of somebody walking somewhere. In slow motion, and then what you hear behind, it takes you somewhere
You know, now that you mentioned that, the scene that comes to mind was the scene when where the brothers walked in with their costume on.
Exactly.
That sound, you know, it carried, you know,
so I want to talk about it. I'll give it an A- for me for for that. The soundtrack was excellent, just some few parts. Now, I want to talk about you creating this here. I know that maybe it might be a budget, the budget that they put together. So, because I've seen where, like I spoke about, when I see Hans Zimmer, when they want to put together a soundtrack, you might see a whole orchestra.
Yes.
They are watching the movie in post, and then they sit down, and then every scene, they're watching, no, I want this, they play this scene again. I've seen compositions that way, but that is not something that you can just sit down and give somebody and all that put together. You know, okay, what is that thing, your optimal setting? If everything as it should be, what would you desire from a filmmaker for you to create something on that stage?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me put it this way. For Tribe of Judah, I had like another sound guy that worked on sound design, dialogue, and final mix, and that was Color Day. So I had time to focus so much on music, within the time that I had. So this the thing about films. Some films require that level of orchestration. Some don't.
Okay, yeah.
For example, if you ask me, Tribe will not require so much orchestration because it's drama and you need to pay attention. But for the little part of it, I was already speaking to an orchestral team. I wanted it done. But I had like a short time not really short time from when I was given, but short time to now assemble that orchestral team and tell them why I really
what
wanted
you really
to play.
wanted. Okay.
I needed it. There's this lady, she plays the saxophone. I spoke to her. I know she had like a band thing, but I was asking, do you have this instrument? And then not a lot of people play it in Nigeria. Do you have this instrument? So I just saw it's going.
So you have to get from softwares and all that.
So
it has to be.
Yeah, so I had to do like all that. And then for a Tribe called Judah, the good thing is, even from shoot, Auntie Funke is a very wonderful person. She knows what she wants. From shoots, she was already sending me stuff. Look at this, look at this. How are we going to approach this? Do you think we should do this? Funny thing is, the word Eya Judah and so many parts of the theme song came from her writing.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes, then it was performed by Abi Wonder. So why I do is, normally I'll just talk to the director, what do you think about your movie before I start?
Before you start.
So that it's not like, because it's always my idea, then my movie will sound like the next one I'm making, so they will never really sound like.
It has to be that synergy.
So if I had 2 hours, I tell you, keep on talking, keep on talking. Because look, for me, it's everything, sound of a movie. Well done, Tolu.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Wishing you the best, and I hope you have bigger teams and bigger budgets.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, we'll get to Tolu. Tolu, we have something for you in the kitchen. I hope you have breakfast.
Why not?
All right. But then just before we get to the kitchen, of course, you've seen all of this on set. I know people are wondering, Christmas not end. Don't worry, wait, wake up. Christmas is continuing. Right, we have some giveaways here. Now, we told you on social media, mostly on X, we'll give out this stuff. So hit us up, follow our social media handles. We'll give you all the details there. We had already sent out some posts there. You see our post. Follow us on X. It's at TVC Entertainment _. Right? That's why you get all the details. We'll get all of this out by this week. We're going to get all of this out.
Come on, win something. No, don't sleep on it.
Tolu, let's head over to the kitchen. We have something for you.
Thank you.
After you.